Alright friends, so welcome to the second part of this video right here. So I finally found a fix after a few approaches and I've changed a lot of stuff. And I hope that you guys like it. Well, let's see. So, first thing which I've changed is the observation dummy. So I'm now using our actual character, and I think that this was the major problem of why this did not want to work, because we were not using our character itself, but we were using some kind of fake character, and also this observation dummy, of course. And I don't know why, but that fact just made this observation dummy be controllable for a few seconds only, and then after 2 seconds or so, it just, randomly continue to fly into this direction for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it really did not make any sense, okay? But it seems that using your character as the observation dummy makes things work. Yeah, so as you can see, we are now using our character. We also have a cool animation right here, and yeah, we have also made the character intransparent a little. Not transparent, of course, not intransparent, but transparent. And we've also changed the color. So I've used the color correction right here. And yeah, so when I press Q again, I get back to my body. And when I unequip this tool, I also get back into my body. And yeah, so this is actually it. So this is the final form I was talking about. Of course, if you are good with VFX and such, you could try to make your own effects if you want to. So this is pretty decent, I think, but I would also admit that it lacks somehow of effect. So if you want to add some, then go ahead and do so, okay? Alright, so let me explain the code I've changed. Let's start with the client script, okay? So first thing right here, which I've added, is the player, I think. So I've now referred to the player as a variable. That's the first thing right here. When it comes to unequipping this whole thing, I'm basically not only setting this equip value to false, but I'm also checking whether the observation mode is on. And if that is the case, then we of course want to clear up things before we unequip the tool. And clearing up in this case means that we fire server this remote event with the task to turn off the observation. I'm going to continue with this later on. And moreover, we are going to make this observation filter, which is actually a color correction effect, which I've also mentioned earlier. So we are making sure that enable is false on this one, and we are setting the observation mode to false as well. Now, you should be familiar with this one. Okay, so there is... Now, maybe not with this thing, so I've changed this up a little. So we are basically checking every time when we press Q whether observation mode is on or not. If observation mode is on and we try to press Q, then we of course want to get rid of this observation mode, which means that we basically just run the same code as we have done right here. So we fire server, we get rid of the filter, and we set the variable to false. And else describes the opposite case of this one. So if observation mode is not on, then we of course fire server the remote event to tell the script to make or to turn into the observation mode. That's what happens right here. I think that this has stood the same. Maybe the only difference is that we are checking whether the tool is equipped before we proceed. So having the tool equipped is a requirement now, right? Well, this has also stood the same. Maybe we can add and equipped as well. That's not really necessary, I think, but let's have it anyways. Now down here, I've literally got rid of this camera stuff, so I can get rid of this right here as well, because camera stuff was there to set our camera, to align our camera to our observation dummy. Since we do not have any observation dummy now, and only our character itself, which we are moving, we can also get rid of all of the code, which is responsible to attach the camera onto our dummy. So that's the reason why the code has changed right here. So the only thing which we do is to set the observation mode variable to true, and to enable this observation filter right here. So you guys hopefully understand that this observation filter, this color correction effect, only true for us, so for the client itself, but for the rest of the players, they do not see any difference in colors, so it is set to false for them, but only true for us. So filtering enabled and all of that stuff plays into this. Now right here, this has stood the same as well, let's say. So as I've told you, we are now using our character for as observation dummy. Means we have also moved all of the body movers inside of there, so the body gyro and the body position, and the body velocity later on as well. So we are right here referring to our body gyro, which is inside of our humanoid root part, and we are basically making this a requirement for this while loop. So while body gyro is found, means existent inside of our humanoid root part, we are supposed to run this code. So while this requirement is fulfilled, what this code does is that, yeah, first of all, this wait is important, otherwise your game will crash. But apart from that, we have this if statement right here. I have added this if statement because otherwise, when you later on get rid of this observation mode right here, can easily happen that this part right here of the code, or especially this one, causes errors. So let me explain this as well. So if I would remove this error, okay, and let's pretend that let's pretend that you have the tool equipped currently. So you're currently in observation mode. You go past this, okay? This is of course true. So this requirement is met because you are still in observation mode. And then you get to this passage, let's say, and right here you decide to get rid of the observation mode. Means you press Q or unequip the tool, okay? So this requirement was fulfilled, and we pretend that this is not existent. Means this is the next code which is supposed to run. But now we have already gotten rid of the observation mode. Means we do not have any body gyro inside of our humanoid root part. But this will cause an error because we are now trying to refer to something which is not existent, because we have gotten rid of it because we have exited the observation mode, you know? And that's the reason why I've added this check right here, because to prevent this case. So let me describe the case once again. You fulfill this requirement, but after fulfilling it, you come to this one for a split amount of second, and then when you suddenly decide to get rid of the observation mode within this second, within this millisecond, I don't know, you are not fulfilling the requirement right here anymore, but there is no other check which keeps you from running this code. But this code requires this to be true, and this was true before, but now it is not true anymore once you come right here, because you, for whatever reason, have decided to unequip tool to get rid of the observation mode. That's the reason why I've added another check before we do this, okay? And yeah, just to prevent that error, it could, in theory, happen that you have your tool equipped, so you're in observation mode right here, okay? And then you're in observation mode right here as well, and right here as well. And then you could, in between this and this, get rid of the observation mode, so go out of it. So in theory, this could happen, and this would also cause an error. The problem is that the amount of seconds in between the check and this code is so tiny that it is not possible for a human to do this. At least I think so. I'm not sure. This is my theory. Alright? So, this code is still the same. So, let's move on with the server script then. So, the server script right here. So, some stuff has changed in this part. So, when it comes to turn on the observation. So, let me go through this. So, this is still the same. But what happens right here is that we are now creating a model inside of the workspace. We call this model according to what our player's name is, and with the addition fake behind of it. Now, what happens right here? We are looping through our character. And yeah, so we are looping through it, and we are basically checking whether the instance we're currently at is not a tool. So let me quickly explain you why we want to exclude the tool. So when you equip a tool inside of Roblox, the tool you have down here, which is inside of your backpack. So let me show it to you. So you have the tool right here inside of your backpack, alright? So there's observation, Haki, final form. Now, when I equip it, it moves out. Have you ever asked yourself where it moves into? It moves inside of your character, that's the reason why. And we do not want our fake character right here to possess the tool. Therefore, we want to clone everything, means body parts, hat, shirts, whatsoever. So we want to clone this instead of our fake character, not the tool. So what do we need this fake character for? Let me show it to you as well. So this fake character, of course, is this one down here. And our actual character is this one. So this invisible one, which you can fly around with, okay? This is the fake one right here. So let's go inside of here. Okay, let's move on with this part. I hope that this one was clear. So what we're doing right here is that we're now looping through our fake character after putting everything inside of there besides tools, and we're not only looping through all of the instances, but we are literally looping through everything which is inside of there. So not only everything which is right here, so which is superficial for you, but also everything inside of here, and everything else which would be inside of this instance, you know, so literally everything which has somehow the ancestor of this dummy, right? Okay? Now, while doing so, we are checking whether the instance we're currently at is either a part or a mesh part. And if that is the case, then we still want to exclude that the instance's name is humanoid root part, so we do not want this to be. And if all of those requirements are met, means the instance is a part or mesh part and its name is not humanoid root part, then we want can collide to be false. So the thought behind of this was that our character right here, so when we try to, I didn't even try it out. Yeah, as you can see, the thought was that this, for example, would not happen. So somehow there is still collision activated for this fake character. I don't know why, but we have literally turned off collision for every physical instance of this one, and I still do not know why it is still a thing. Okay, but I've done it because to prevent cases like this, or when the character, for example, levitates from your fake character, that they do not, you know, collide with each other. So that was the idea behind of this, but it did not really work, and I still kept it right here. I don't know why. I think that you could get rid of this as well, but I would recommend keeping it, okay? And this part right here is also because of this one. So the idea of having everything set to non-collidable concludes that, or you can conclude that your fake character then will not collide with anything, means it will just fall through. So it will not even collide with the base plate it stands on, and will just slip through to the very bottom. And yeah, fun fact, this did even happen while testing out this whole thing, and I don't know why I'm still able to collide with this fake character, but it really happened. So while creating this whole thing, it just fell through the world because collision was deactivated, and I don't know why it doesn't do that anymore. Okay, and this body position right here basically is being put inside of the fake character's humanoid root part, and keeps fake character at its place. So at the former position of our character, okay, the former one, that's important. Now what happens right here is that we are literally looping through everything inside of our character, that's important, our character, and everything means get descendants, okay? We are checking whether the thing we are currently at is either a part, mesh part, and its name is not humanoid root part. Okay, so the same thing as we have done right here. But what we are doing now is that we are setting the transparency of all of these parts which are affected to 0.8, so 0.8. Okay, so why did we exclude the humanoid root? So the humanoid root part is always invisible, okay, in any case. Therefore, I do not want the humanoid root part to be anything besides transparency 1, okay? That's the reason why we're excluding the humanoid part, because the transparency for this one always has to stay at 1. Otherwise, it would be visible and this would just look off. Now, down here, we are referring to this animator instance of our character. And we are loading an animation for our character, basically. And the animation we are loading is this one. And I've created an animation. Let me try to show this to you. So this animation right here, which is basically, or which reminds of, you know, someone who's levitating. So maybe some kind of ghost. But it is going to be your soul, you know, which is able to just walk outside of your body and just perceive everything in its environment. So that's the idea of the final form as well. Okay, and we are just playing this loaded track right here, right? So nothing too special. Now, those things are still the same, okay? We've just changed the value right here to 7.5 because everything below 7.5 will mess with the fake character, as I've told you, because our character and the fake character, they somehow still collide with each other. I don't know why, but they still do. Therefore, you have to make sure that the character is always above the fake character and even far above the fake character, so not by, I don't know, 0.005 studs or anything, but maybe by 1 or 2 studs. Okay, so make sure that this is fulfilled. So this requirement I was just pointing out. Yeah, right here we have turn off observation. So basically this and this, and let's go through this. All right, what happens right here is that we are checking whether there is an instance inside of our humanoid root part, which is the body velocity, and if this is the case, then we are destroying it. And another check is that we are checking whether there is a body position inside of our humanoid root part, and if that is the case, then we destroy it as well. Now, let me explain this to you. So, it could happen that you decide to turn off this mode while flying, okay? That's the reason why I'm checking for a body velocity. Now, I think that the most common case is going to be that you are flying, then you decide to stop flying, means you stay at your place, and then you press Q or unequip the tool whatsoever. And this check right here is responsible for that, okay? That's basically, or those are basically the two cases right here, which can happen. And in this case, if and else if can work. So you could argue that you have to do it like this, so that you need to have two separate if statements. But you do not need to have it, because body velocity and the body position, they won't exist at the same time. Because if you have a body velocity, you're basically trying to move. So there is no point in having a body position which keeps you at your place, you know? That's just against that argument, if someone would bring it up. Now, down here, we are creating another body position inside of our humanoid root part. And we are setting the position of this body position to our fake character's humanoid root part's position. Means this body position right here is responsible to show it to you. So when we fly out, so this body position is responsible for our soul right here coming back to its body. So this effect is caused due to this body position, which pulls our actual character back to the position of this fake character. Then after that, we are destroying the fake character. And down here, we are looping through our character and basically checking for or whether the instance we're currently at is a part or a mesh part, and its name is not humanoid root part. And if that is the case, then we are setting the transparency to 0, and we do this via tween cells just to make things more beautiful for the eye, you know. So basically, this part is the reversal of this one. Okay, just to point this out as well. Right here, we are referring to this animator instance, which we have used to load animations. Somewhere right here. Yeah, right here. And we're now applying this get playing animation tracks function, which returns the table with all of the playing animations of this animator instance. And under those, or among those animations, there has to be this this levitating animation right here, which we have played up here. And nah, wait. Nah, this is wrong. This is wrong. I should do something else. But actually, let's keep it because it works. Look, the problem I've just noticed is that you're literally getting all of the playing animations, alright? So every animation which is playing for your character is returned by this function. And we are looping through them, so through this table, and we are stopping all of them. So not only this idling, this levitation idling animation. Wait, I'll be back. Okay, yeah, not only this animation right here, but also things like the idling or the walking animation. And my fear was that those are being stopped as well. But as you guys have seen, once we stop this observation mode, all of the other animations, such as idling, walking, jumping, whatsoever, they still play finely, okay? So I don't think that this harm the natural flow of the animations, let's say, you know. So I hope that you guys understand what I'm trying to point out right here. Now, after 1 second, we destroy the body gyro inside of our humanoid root part. We destroy this body position right here, which pulls our actual character back to our fake character. And we change the walk speed to 16 and the jump power to 7.5. So we revert them. So basically the reversal of this one. Now right here, move forward. So this task happens when you press W. Okay, you should be familiar with this one as well. I've changed the code a little, but the idea is still the same. So we are checking for a body position instead of a humanoid root part. If it exists, then we want to destroy, because I've already pointed out you cannot have both inside of the humanoid root part at the same time. When you have a body position inside of your humanoid root part, you have to get rid of it before adding a body velocity, which makes you move forward, alright? That's important to know. That's the reason why we destroy it. And then we create the body velocity. And we have this loop right here, which requires the body velocity to exist. And while it exists, basically set the velocity to the direction our character is looking to, multiplied with 25. You can increase this number to increase the speed of your flight. And this is it. Okay. Now, end forward is the reversal of this one. What happens right here is that we are checking for an instance inside of our humanoid root part, which is the body velocity. And if it's found, we destroy it. So the destruction of this body velocity right here leads to this argument right here, or this requirement to be not fulfilled. Therefore, it just quits. Yeah, it quits, alright? And down here, we are creating a body position inside of a humanoid root part. And we are setting the position to its current position, alright? So this body position is responsible for our character to stay at its place after it has done a flight. So when I fly up here, I could, when I stop the flight, just fall down to the base plate, alright? But this does not happen because of the body position, as you can see. Okay? So the body position, if I would open this up, is inside of here now. Yeah. And this is it, guys. So that's just the whole system behind of this. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends. Feedback in the comment section, guys. Take care and see you in the next video.